previous to my first bike, I had gone through, since birth, a blue pedal car, a tricycle, 2 scooters, and 2 skates. My first brush with a bicycle came with an older boy telling me he would teach me to ride on his big bike. 3 years later, after my younger brother made it known to Santa that he would like a bike, a large, not terribly well disguised, wrapped in Christmas paper, Christmas present was under the tree on Christmas morning. It was a brand new, beautiful, top of the market, any boy's heart's desire, a Triumph, Palm Beach, 3-speed Sturmey Archer gears with straight touring van handlebars and a shiny new Chrome Bell bicycle for my brother. Small little bike for boys. Singing in the choir that Christmas morning, I could think of nothing else but how could I not be included in the new Bike for Christmas scheme. I even ventured in my anger to sing the prohibited version of a carol that all choir boys know, while shepherds washed their socks by night instead of the more normally accepted version. A new campaign was started by the green-eyed monster of jealousy and labelled Get a Palm Beach Bike. 2 months later, on my birthday, the relentless assault from my parents' ears, with all kind of made-up and factual pleas, paid off. And exhausted by the long battle, I unwrapped my birthday present, a Triumph Palm Beach 3-speed bicycle in scratched red. Wait a minute. Scratched red? Now at secondary school, I did my cycle proficiency test with the police and got my badge to enable me to cycle to school and park in the bike shed. Never caught the bus again. Rain, shine, snow, blizzard, ice, gale. We struggled to and from school on our bikes and held in our sticky hands, triumphant, week after week, half a crown to spend. Brothers united in pocket money versus the elements. In 1963, I joined P&O Orient Line as a bellboy, and biking was only on leave at home in Stockton, and my now rather old second-hand Palm Beach bicycle. My next bike was bought on board the Sun Princess in 1975, Spiritus of London in January 1974. We were Mexican cruising for 8 months and in Alaska 4 months. Space was tight, but I spotted a parking space out of the way by my cabin, Fountain Court. Up against Fountain Court on the side. No ordinary bike would fit in this place, but I bought at the bike shop in San Pedro a beautiful Peugeot fold-up bike that fitted right in there. Where a crowd gathered to see it, and it was blue in colour with 5 gears, pannier, and a silver chrome belt. Once, Kevin O'Halloran asked me to get him a case of softies as he was going on the wagon. Turned out he wanted a case of Coors. I only had that bike a short time, as 3 years later, while in a shop in Vancouver, it was stolen from outside. I told the police it was locked up with a heavy chain and expensive padlock tied to a stanchion or lamppost. They incorporated a steel lock recessed into one of the interlocking steel bars. My next bike, bought the next week at the bike shop in Vancouver, was a Rally 10-speed racer with drop handlebars. It was a beautiful machine, but came rather basic. One day I was in Juneau, Alaska, and I cycled over the big bridge to the island on the other side and along to the village. I stopped for a quick rum, being a chilly day, at the village pub and got chatting to a local. I bought him a drink, he bought me one back, which I'd not intended to have, and departed for the ship. There is a long downhill before the bridge back to Juneau, and I suddenly felt quite a buzz. And then I got dizzy at the bottom of the hill, lost control, and spun off the road in a spectacular crash. The day Billy Vader got married on the Sun Princess, I was down on the quay stooging around on my bike when the wedding party boarded the last car of the Lake Bennett excursion train of the White Pass and Yukon Railroad, narrow gauge railroad, if you all remember. But wait, that's not the end of the Oscar bike story. In 1983, I had moved from Mazatlan to New York and an apartment in Astoria, Queens, New York City. In 1985, the Benson Hedges Cigarette Company started putting coupons in the cartons of cigarettes and put out a catalogue of prizes to be won. I think the top one was a free coffin and a funeral, and begged every other barman to do the same. Now, what could I possibly have discovered? Well, for a few thousand coupons, you could get a fold-up bicycle. The company who manufactured the bike was called Workman's Bicycle, and it was manufactured in Brooklyn, New York City. If you collected enough coupons and lived in the New York area, you did not have to pay shipping costs, but it would be shipped free. Actually, after 46 years at sea, I retired. And I left New York to go to New Carlisle, Cumbria, and left behind many things in New York. So in 2010, I left my apartment in New York and my little red Workman fold-up bike stayed behind, near its birthplace in New York City. Ta-ta for now.